listen, she's a beautiful young lady. And there's a lot of beautiful young ladies in the WNBA. But when you do that, you can't come down the line and complain about being objectified later on. It's not going to work with people. Whether it's right or wrong, it's not going to work. And when you do stuff like that and you're drawing attention to yourself because of that, that can be problematic for you.
She was the queen of college basketball, the Bayou Barbie, who could back up her trash talk with titles and trophies. But this New Year's Eve, one post flipped the script. In less than 24 hours, Angel Reese went from WNBA star to trending controversy, and Stephen A. Smith, never one to hold his tongue, had a message that shook the sports world. She's not Caitlin Clark. This is the full story.
The part that I like about the backlash. Clearly, it's something that a lot of people can't take. So if it's something that you can't take, maybe you shouldn't expose yourself to the backlash and provoking the backlash.
It all started with one of the most iconic championship runs in NCAA history. Angel Reese was everywhere, winning Most Outstanding Player, signing multi-million-dollar endorsement deals, and becoming a cultural phenomenon. But with fame came scrutiny and the arrival of a rival who would change everything: Caitlin Clark.
Especially when the comparison is going to be drawn to Caitlin Clark, who isn't doing such things. That might not be fair. I'm not saying it is. And you certainly have the right to dress how you want and to do what you want and to live your life. But people have a right to have their opinions about what you put on display. And if they don't like it and they believe that it's not the right thing for you to be doing when you talk about building your brand, I don't know how you can argue that, Tori.
That gesture in the national championship was more than a celebration. It became the spark of a rivalry. Clark took her game to the WNBA with record-breaking numbers and spotless media presence, while Reese faced growing criticism over her game and off-court behavior. Every Clark success became a shadow looming over Reese's brand.
My daughters are fully aware. Daddy had better damn well not see an outfit like that on social media. Nah, I ain't judging Angel Reese. Live your life. I'm talking about my daughters.
Right.
I promise you. I better not see that. Hey, they could be in college in L.A., in Boston, or anywhere in between. Daddy will drop the mic, hop in the car, on the plane, or wherever. That ain't gonna happen. You said, I'm not having it. That's me.
On December 31st, Reese posted a video in a barely there dress. It was meant to be glamorous, but the reaction was swift and unforgiving. Criticism poured in from fans, media, and even her own supporters. Within hours, her Instagram vanished. That's when Stephen A. Smith entered the conversation.
Deleted her Instagram, and that's the most important part about all of this, because clearly she's uncomfortable with some of the backlash that she's getting because she deleted her Instagram.
Smith didn't hold back. He called out Reese's attention-seeking behavior and warned that in professional sports, branding is as important as performance. The real sting? He compared her to Caitlin Clark, saying Clark manages her image with discipline, while Reese leaves people scratching their heads.
Call it what it is. Listen, I am not trying to say that she should be criticized or she is wrong. What I'm saying is, by pulling it down, clearly you felt there was something wrong.
For Reese, this is just the latest in a string of PR missteps. From skipping post-game press conferences to rumors of tension with teammates, critics say her focus is drifting from basketball to brand image. And each time, the Caitlin Clark comparison resurfaces, whether fair or not.
Yes, you are 22. Yes, you are young. And there's a lot of things that we didn't want people to know about when we were her age. Fair enough, especially me, okay? Because I'm 30 plus years removed from that age. I got that part. There was no social media then or whatever. But here's my point to you. She knows this social media. She is not dumb. She's quite a brilliant young lady. She's very smart, very accomplished. And on top of it all, she is in this age where she does know social media exists, and she has exploited it to her advantage. And so when you take that into consideration, that means you're mindful of the imagery and the perception that you're assisting in creating about yourself.
The question now, is Angel Reese an athlete who happens to be an influencer, or an influencer who happens to play basketball. In the WNBA, production matters, and so does public perception. Stephen A. warned that stunts like this could jeopardize not just her endorsements, but her career.
What I have a problem with, Tori. Angel Reese, in doing the things that she has done, let's face reality. She's going to be attached to Caitlin Clark to some degree. If Angel Reese had never waved her hand in her face when LSU was beating Iowa for in the Final Four of the national championship, if that hadn't happened, Angel Reese's name might not be as big.
Smith didn't pull any punches when he said,
but what's not debatable is the fact that Caitlin Clark has handled her branding extremely well. Whereas with Angel Reese, sometimes you find yourself scratching your head and wondering what the hell she's doing. Like that photo right there.
Branding experts agree. When you control the narrative, you control your value. Caitlin Clark's camp plays a long game, while Reese's moves feel reactive. And in a league still fighting for attention, one bad headline can stick for years.
You have to be cognizant that no matter how you step out of your house, you are now Angel Reese. And you will always be picked apart, unfortunately. It comes with the crown. You're a queen. You're beautiful, So you just have to remember that if you aren't ready for the scrutiny, if you're not ready for the heat, then, you just got to be mindful that what comes with it. You have to be mindful with what comes.
With the season ahead and a media storm behind her, Reese faces a choice: double down on the spotlight or rebuild her image. Fans will forgive mistakes, but they won't forget patterns.
Might have been a right or wrong decision depending on what she feels or what other people feel. I'm just saying that what's inescapable is that even though she's not Caitlin Clark, she's going to be reminded she's not Caitlin Clark with every good thing that Caitlin Clark does, because that was her number one nemesis in a lot of people's eyes.
In the end, this isn't just about a dress, a post, or even a rivalry. It's about what happens when hype meets reality. In Stephen A. Smith's words, if you're not ready for the heat, be mindful of what comes with the crown. The ball is in Angel Reese's court now, and the world is watching.
Number two, she was seen during various interviews and what have you, talking about threats, talking about insults, crying about how people were coming at her with such venom and hostility, particularly in her last year at LSU, before she ultimately graduated to the pros. She brought up all of these things, which means she was aware of it. And if you're aware of it, you have to understand that that's going to be part of the judgment that comes against you, fair or unfair. That's what I'm saying, Tori.
She's been called the Bayou Barbie, the face of trash talk in women's basketball. But after her latest stunt, Stephen A. Smith didn't just criticize Angel Reese. He compared her directly to Caitlin Clark, and the verdict wasn't pretty. This is the story of how the WNBA's most polarizing rookie found herself in the hot seat.
Caitlin Clark, the reason I bring up Caitlin Clark is because they're attached at the hip with one another, which means they're ultimately going to be compared, Tori. And when you look at Caitlin Clark is balling. She's a rookie of the year. She was one of the finalists for the league MVP honors as a rookie, breaking all types of records. She should have been on Team USA. She didn't choose to play in an unrivaled league. Her brand building has been incredibly impressive.
Just over a year ago, Angel Reese was at the peak of her famed national champion, millions in nil deals, and a social media following that rivaled some NBA stars. But this season, it's been a different story. A suspension, on-court struggles, and now a verbal lashing from Stephen A. Smith, who says Reese is losing the battle of perception to her biggest rival, Caitlin Clark.
You have to remember one thing: she's not Caitlin Clark. And we can't ask her to be anyone else besides herself, and especially not right here. We're not going to do that. We want you to be you. We love seeing the great parts of your journey, but we also have to remember she's 22 years old.
Stephen A. pointed out the stark contrast. While Reese has been stirring up drama, Clark's been building her brand the old-fashioned way, by winning games, breaking records, and staying controversy-free. As a rookie, Clark's already a finalist for MVP and shattering three-point records. Reese, she's battling more headlines than box scores.
Understand that everybody's got their own taste, their own flavor, and certainly their own rights. But there are other people that's going to exercise their rights to be ultra critical about it. And then I'm not even talking about the outfit that Angel Reese is worn. I'm talking about the overall pressure of having to be compared as a brand to somebody who's conducting their branding with near perfection. That's what I'm saying. She's going to have to deal with that, Tori, whether she likes it or not.
This isn't the first time Reese's name has been in controversy. From the viral "you can't see me" gesture to heated exchanges with media critics, she's leaned into the role of villain. But in the pros, the stakes are higher and brands are watching. Endorsements worth nearly $2 million could be at risk if this image sticks.
Bosses are always watching. Whether directly or indirectly, there's always eyes on you. Okay? And so you could be in a nice dress. You could be on a red carpet. You could be on the beach on vacation or whatever. What you post is what they're paying attention to because they're trying to measure what your intentions are based off of what they see.
Whether she likes it or not, Angel Reese will always be compared to Caitlin Clark. One is showing you can be a star without drama. The other is still figuring out what kind of star she wants to be.
Because they don't see her as someone that's marketable, because
Neither do I.
You know, and that's the pain that I had for her in this. But I want her to know, if she's listening, we're excited to still see you. Bring back that beautiful Instagram page and just learn